TSM Evo, they are going to have this first pick. So loser has the option, but, you know, SSA giving it up. So they will have that counter pick. We'll see how it kind of works out for them.
So Kennen going to be the first ban out here from TSM Evo. And you know, the same, I expect the same bans coming in for game numbers for TSM. Kennen, Jan, and Nocturne, very solid bans. Shen also being banned here by SSA. But it wasn't really anything about the bans last. And Kog'Maw, just to be safe, might as well get it out there. Might leave, but you're going to have to leave the Urgot open. You're going to have to leave the Ahri open. And you decide to take the last pick. So you're going to leave one of those open for TSM to grab. Probably, I would probably take out. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Urgot would definitely be the better of the two to take out. But Ahri's going to be a rough matchup in mid if TSM decides to grab her first. Alistar, actually, yeah, Alistar makes sense here. He
He's just an all-around boss.
He's just an all-around cool guy. He managed to take bot lane pretty convincingly. He can go into jungle. If like I said, if they want to go into a maximum overtroll, they can throw him mid too.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You know, he's such a versatile champion. You know who played Alistar mid, don't you?
You?
Well, me, but I meant Shushay. So, you know, it was supposed to be a relevant news story. I do play. I do enjoy my Alistar mid. But Shushay, yeah, so Shushay with Fnatic. If you haven't seen, you know, the DreamHack, that was a lot of fun with AP Alistar. And he was kind of big for a little bit, AP Alistar playing him. Shushay, you know, clearly he was kind of big also. Yep. But best of luck to him, and hopefully the new team works out okay as well. It should be kind of interesting. So as just leaving Against All Authority recently, you know, kind of some differences of opinion there. It'll be interesting to see how that works out, but yeah.
Nunu Malphite being picked up by SSA. Nunu, here's the thing, this is, again, somewhat odd picks early on, because Malphite, you usually grab him for a counter pick for, you know, someone top lane. Nunu, if you're, you know, telegraphing as a support, you know, it's already been established so far ahead. It's like, okay, Nunu support, going to be in bot lane, trying to support someone. And Graves would be a pretty good target for Nunu.
I think they want to have a good time. They're, you know, they're looking to party, and they've got the Nunu Graves combo. It's actually, you know, a solid lane. Nunu is definitely a really strong support.
Absolutely.
It has the attack speed slow. It's difficult against Sivir, and so you know, the Sivir in response to Nunu, you throw off the ice ball. It's so easy to spell shield. You throw it off, and now all of a sudden you're just done. And it's going to be a pretty difficult lane. There's so much burst potential. Sivir has a lot of burst actually, and so then, you know, when you combo it with Leona, if you hit that combo very quickly, you can pick up kills. And I don't know, it's going to be tough. But Sion is a very safe lane. Malphite, depending on whether they lane him top or in the jungle, can be a strong pick, but again, it is usually as a counter pick. And you know, hey, these guys are going to be nice. They're like, oh, well, you know, you want to counter pick Malphite? We'll give you a team that's okay against them. Actually, not really, but you know, they'll do their best. And Katarina should be a lot of fun mid.
Katarina mid, just straight up challenging the Sion. Like, you know, if you're going to go mid, I know you have the stun. I bet that the stun's not going to be doing a whole lot for you, and I can still beat you out with the ult and all the damage. And if that is an AP Sion, which it may very well be, you know, objective for AP Sion, break the shield. You break the shield, you break his farm. If the Sion ends up going AD, it becomes a denial of farm, because, you know, is AD Sion very much like a Tryndamere. You know, early on games, before he gets all the items that he needs, he can be quite weak, and you know, if the denial of farm goes the same way game one, if he goes AD, it could work out. It could work out badly.
Yeah, I'm not experienced in the art form of AD Sion, so all of those nuances and whatnot, I couldn't tell you. But AP Sion, you know, it's definitely a pretty safe way to play him, and generally pretty strong. And actually, because of the Udyr pick, it will be a Sion mid, which means most likely AP. And so that's actually kind of interesting. AP Sion versus Katarina, and you know, Sion does have the stun. He does have advantage of that. Katarina, you know, has some nice harass, but I'm not sure whether or not she can instantly kill his shield. She should be able to with her Shumpo. Her Shumpo is pretty strong.
Blade plus Shumpo should be able to do it.
Her blade, you know, it isn't actually a lot of damage early on, so her blades won't be able to do it, but I think the Shumpo will, if she puts more levels into the Shumpo maybe than she normally would. So normally you would kind of max your Q first, but if she puts more levels into her E, that'll give her a little bit more burst potential against that shield.
Yep, and even then, it's once Salsa can go in, Shumpo into the shield, force the stun from Sion, and then even then from there you can just go straight on in ult following, because the stun, most Scions don't really level it up very far. It's going to stay a level 1 stun for quite some time. If you're playing AP Scion, you want to focus getting the shield maxed out to 5 first. Stun's not really...
It depends. Yeah, shield is #1 priority,
right.
Definitely. A lot of times after your shield, though, you'll max your stun second. And so sometimes you'll hold off on the stun, get a couple of levels into your passive so that you can farm. And, you can get up that quick health and just be uber tanky and, just awesome. But the stun definitely has a lot of burst damage. So if you're going AP Scion, it gives you a little bit more burst.
Yep, so there we go. Game number 2 heading on in. These are your teams. And, TSM Evo, they made the Katarina pick. Like, okay, saw how you performed last game. Pretty sure we can R-farm you again. Alistar in the jungle, not bot lane this time, but still... Leona there in the bot lane, very indicative. Once again, going to be a very aggressive lane, looking to push. And if anyone can push, it's Sivir. That's one of the things she just does it. She just pushes. She has the ultimate. She has the boomerang blade.
Things happen. Words are said.
Things happen. It was a strange night. I woke up. All of my minions were passed out on the lawn. All of my food was gone. My car's upside down for some reason.
That's just terrible.
My fridge is missing. My toilet's missing somehow.
We should contact someone about that.
My cat was painted pink. Of all things,
I thought you
of all
did
colors.
That, though.
No, I painted it blue.
Oh, okay.
I painted it blue, and actually, I lived with someone once. She bleached her cat. She has 2 cats, and she bleached one of them to tell them apart. You know what? That's a story for another time. We actually still got this game loading on up. Nunu Graves. Nunu, you have the speed, you have the attack speed steroid, and you have the movement speed steroid on Graves. But here's the thing, though. Nunu was picked very early on and allowed, straight on in to the Sivir pick. You have the shield. That steroid is not going to be doing a whole lot on Graves if he's stuck in his own tower.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the case. And they just... I don't know, the Sivir is just such a strong counterpick to both Graves and Nunu. Normally, Nunu and Graves would actually be a pretty strong lane, but it's going to be kind of dangerous. Sivir has, a slightly longer attack range than Graves actually does, but even so, Graves, he has the buckshot and whatnot. So if Graves can pop the shield, we get the slow, that could be nice. But it's just a lot of burst damage to deal with, and the fact that the auto attack refresh for Sivir, the W, that's not going to be slowed down by the slow at all. I mean, if you give her an attack speed debuff, she's just going to reproc her attack, and it's not that big of a deal. I don't know, so it's going to be a tough lane, but they need to sit down, they need to farm. So really, they want to kind of play safe early and just play safe the entire time. Wait for ganks, hopefully. If we get an engage in, that's one of the things with Leona is you can always count on Leona to be super aggressive, and if you just, when she's trying to be aggressive, you time it, you have the jungler come in, very quickly you can pick yourself up a kill, but because they're going to be constantly pushed up against their tower and in such a defensive position, it means that they're not going to be able to get wards in the river, so they're going to be vulnerable to ganks. They're not going to be able to get vision in the brush, so Alistar could come right up the brush, combo with Leona for just so much killing potential. There's just so many things that's, they're going to be denied, and it's going to be extremely difficult. Top lane, I don't remember what top lane is, but I'll see it once this loading screen comes up.
Malphite and
Lee Sin, that's right. So that's actually a pretty even matchup. But here's the thing. It all comes down to playing style. And Lee Sin, he can jump in, burst down Malphite real quick, and then shield out. And it prevents a lot of that follow-up damage that Malphite has. Malphite does have the attack speed slow, so Lee Sin, can't get off as many attacks as you would like before you get out of there. But even so, just the fact that Lee Sin's kind of hopping all over the place, it's going to be difficult for Malphite to, harass him at all. And if you can get free harass on the champion, namely Lee Sin here, then very quickly you can win that lane. It's just going to be such a difficult lane. But, if he can farm up, then, he does have a lot of killing potential when they come into fights. Sion should be the safest lane out of all of them. So hopefully Sion can farm up and then, run around, pick up a bunch of kills, and just, carry.
But like we've said before, on Salse, on Katarina, leveling up to Shinpo, if you're able to go ahead and just get rid of the shield completely, that would shut down his farm pretty hard. But I have high hopes for top lane though, because last game
hot apple pie in the sky hopes. No.
Last game top lane out of all 3 lanes from Super Special Awesome actually did the best in farm relative to their opponent. It's but even then early on, like Vlad still managed to get quite a bit of farm on Fizz, but
that's going to be tough. So
ooh,
Malphite actually starting off with Regrowth Pendant and Mana Potion. So, Malphite, he is kind of mana hungry early, so, that is a struggle for him. And if he gets the fast Philosopher's Stone, that'll be huge. He knows that he's going to kind of struggle with farming. He wants to be able to keep up with gold. And it's just an all-around good item for him. It allows him to spam. But the issue is he has no early, HP regen. He has the regen from the Regrowth Pendant, but it's nowhere near enough. So all Wings of Death needs to do to easily win this lane is just, jump at Malphite a couple of times, be hyper aggressive, and now Malphite's got to sit back and be like, wow, this sucks. I have no health. I can't be aggressive. I have all this mana, and I can't use it for anything. If he can get the Q spam, then that could be nice. I mean, what you want to do is you get in, you get the Q, you get off your E as Malphite, get some quick damage. That could definitely be beneficial, but I don't know. We'll see. If they can get a quick kill here, that would help him out. If he gets the first blood, goes back and finishes that Philosopher's Stone and buys some health pots.
So what SSA is doing right now is they're timing the invade. The buff spawns at 155, so you want to go ahead and time it lead. Sion can go ahead and lead out. They're going to go around to the Wolves. Are they going to grab anybody? They're both behind
Sion's
the corner.
A little bit far out
Sion's
ahead,
a little
though.
bit far out. Who can get the stun? He gets the stun on Alistar. He's running away. Oh, he gets a little bit too... Oh, and unfortunate flash. The timing, the opportunity for the stun is gone. As soon as you turn around the corner is where you want to get your CC in. Keep them in one place, and there was enough. There was plenty of time to stun the Alistar or even the Katarina and just melt him. But
so Udyr going to be picking this up. It actually resets, so it's going to take him a little bit longer than he expected. But in the meantime, Nat Nguyen and Aframu coming down here going to help out Unstoppable a little bit. So he's going to get his quick blue. He's going to be fine, and then we'll see this harass. So Salse can get some nice harass against Sion when the shield is down. And try and get the advantage there. Kind of weird items for Udyr as well. It works out. Cloth Armor's, an all-around strong jungling item. It's a very safe option. But Udyr is generally an easy enough jungler that you don't really need the Cloth Armor. You can go for a more aggressive jungle. But we'll see how he's building if he's going with that AD. And actually, Unstoppable coming in really quickly. We'll take a tower shot, and then Sion will be fine.
Yep, just putting a little bit of fear of life into Sion there just to make sure you back off. And the Ignite actually going down onto the Malphite top lane already in first blood. Wings of Death didn't even really need to flash in for that one. And quick kill. No help required. And that's what happened. You go ahead into top lane with an item build like that, expecting to go back and build on. If you're a jungler, I can understand go for the Regrowth Pendant first, but top lane, especially against someone very mobile as Lee Sin, you need to enter that lane with either Boots 3 pots or Cloth Armor 5 pots in order to just go ahead and mitigate as much damage as possible.
Particularly against Lee Sin.
Oh,
you have the physical damage, you get the early Cloth Armor, you buy a fast Ninja Tabby as fast as possible, and that's one of the nice things about Malphite top versus a physical bruiser, is you get early armor, and it scales well with your damage, but it also allows you to just kind of mitigate all of their damage.
Right.
We do see, with the Shimpo, not quite able to get any damage. I think actually Salse probably hit a minion there. So
yeah, I think so.
But regardless, we'll see. Alistar just coming in, stealing the blue wraith real quick from Udyr.
But this game, though, the jungler for SSA not as far behind as Evo's in comparison to last game. There's mutual invades, mutual blue steals, and Udyr's actually doing okay for himself this game considering. Unstoppable has been kind of roaming around trying to find opportunities, but top lane though. Top lane still not looking so good. Level 4 to level 2. Already top lane. We're not even 5 minutes in yet.
With that first kill, you can bet Wings of Death, his thought was, I don't need a kill. I'm throwing off the Ignite, and I don't, necessarily intend to kill him. But if I wear him down, if I get him low, then I've already won because he's not going to be able to lane. He, was fortunate enough that he was able to get a kill. So Lee Sin taking a huge advantage off there. We do see Alistar, going to be taking his red, but the quick damage and, Malphite is already out of mana. Probably needs some mana regen in his runes and mastery, so he doesn't have to have the health pots. But regardless, Lee Sin is just so far ahead at this point.
So gonna go ahead, pop the mana potion top lane, and Malphite trying to get some free damage down. But hey, Lee Sin has a shield too. It's also on command. So Malphite just needs to try and play it safe, wait for his shield to come back up naturally, try and go for some out harassing measures, but against the Lee Sin, it is a little bit rough. It's a huge, massive uphill climb. In the mid lane, Katarina 30, Sion 28. Farm mid lane is actually pretty even, but after we're actually getting some pretty good chunks out of the graves there. And Nunu, he's there for the blood boil. He's not a healer. He's not a miracle worker. He can only do so much.
Yeah, we have some nice harass from Salse mid against Sion. Can farm pretty effectively. Udyr is coming up in this top lane, so we'll see if he can get a quick gank. We don't have any wards from Lee Sin, but even so, I think Lee Sin could probably 2v1 them. There's not going to be a lot of help from Malphite. We do have the slow, and then Udyr is coming in. He does have that red buff, so he will be able to get the stun, but there's the shield. Actually, Wings of Death getting out of there. In the meantime, Sion probably going to go down mid. Wings of Death is able to get out of there, and there's actually the Shumpo. We have the flash from Sion, so he's able to retreat. Is kind of fortunate there, and everyone, going to be safe here, but Lee Sin in particular able to get out of that and then, come back up and continue harassing down Malphite some. Good
flash by user error, just the perfect angle just to get through the tree line and to safety before being killed. It was a good flash and a good angle. But still, though, you're leaving Katarina in lane to go ahead free farm. She is 6, you are not, so the Death Lotus is now up. And using your stun at the wrong opportunity could mean death upon a return to lane. But Sion stacking up those Doran's rings, getting ready, preparing. But Salse doesn't need to back quite yet. Still full health, relatively healthy, and actually now coming down to this bot lane to try and get a quick kill onto the Nunu, onto the Graves. Tower being tanked by the minions, and real quick, just the Shunpo on its own, able to take out, and with the cooldown refresh, Salse is able to go ahead and get a quick double kill.
Yeah, they just have so much damage potential. We do see Lee Sin continuing to be pretty abusive against this Malphite top. He can go back and just heal up, and he'll be fine, but Malphite doesn't have any mana. He doesn't have any, health, really, so he will have to back off. Doesn't have enough for his ultimate. Actually, does have enough for his ultimate, so... no, he's 10 mana short, so just barely. And then, maybe if Sion comes up, he could get the kill, but Wings of Death being extremely aggressive, and Malphite should actually turn onto him now because he does have his ultimate. We'll see the stun from Sion.
Sion now making his way on up. The shield is still popping. He gets some extra damage down onto Wings of Death, but he is ignited. Will he be able to get away? Getting for the quick juke and the flash away, and he should be fine there.
Yeah, and Malphite actually using his mana on his Q to get the slow, missing the hard CC on the knock-up and the damage, so wasn't able to follow up with that, but... yeah, so Wings just, generally is fine. Everything's happy in his world. We do see Salse continuing to farm mid. We'll have Sion up here, and, he can kill the minions pretty easily. At this point, I don't think he can insta-kill him, so he'll need to, attack the race a little bit. But we'll see. We have Alistar coming up here, and with that ultimate, and with Salse, there's just so much killing potential. They're walking right into it.
They have the bush warded, and they're walking right and trying to make something happen onto the Alistar. But still, though, that is a very odd placement for the ward, too, so far in. I'd like to see the ward actually more in the river, but the stun coming from Salse, and there's the Leona ult trying to get whatever possible. And right now the Graves is being focused, the Nunu goes down as well, and Sion is in a very bad spot. Udyr walks into the chaos, should be going down as well, and that's unfortunate. The ward was in the bush. You knew the Alistar was there, you knew he was looking for the engage, and you walk in.
The big thing is they didn't realize that Katarina was coming, so
awarded a river would have been.
But because they didn't recognize that Kat was coming, they were like, oh hey, let's engage on Alistar. He's not going to be expecting it. We're going to catch him out of position. Didn't work out for them. We do see TSM Evo continuing this great pressure bottom, and they're actually going to tank it for a second, so they're going to want to back out of there. Oh, Nat's taking it, so. I guess he's okay. They will be able to take this down, and so pick up a turret there and have just such great map control so early on. 7k gold advantage, 9 minutes in, and Wings of Death dominating top as well.
There we go. So, and Malphite having an increasingly difficult time against the Lee Sin here in top lane. It's just the harass continues more and more. 76 to 29. Very soon Lee Sin will have tripled the creep score at top lane. Bot lane, just to take another look at the farm elsewhere in the map, 75 to 24. Mid lane at 62 to 55. So top and bot not looking so hot, but still, some kills may equalize the difference. But this quick dragon kick away from the Sion should keep him relatively safe. He is stunned. He is popped up by the Malphite ult. Will he actually go down here? The slows, will they come in time? No, they will not. And there is one kill onto the Scion, but there's a lot of effort expended. Alistar will be able to get away the flash and the stun and the slow. Alistar is in a little bit of a pickle, but here comes Salse and here comes Leona to help save the day. Salse, the ult is up, should be able to do something, and the Udyr does go down. Cooldowns are refreshed. Are you going to go ahead and go in for any more of this? Nat is out there, out in front, trying to get some vision. 3 members of SSA are camping out by their tower. Scion's making a break for it. Will he be able to get away? No, the Q from Leona will keep him still just for a little bit. Salse is stunned and now slowed from the Malphite. Alistar is there trying to get a little bit more CC. He's going in on this. The stun, he has to ult. Flash will not keep him safe. And now Nat and Salse are they're in a bit of a panic here, but Aphromoo is not too far behind, and there is the ult, and there's more kills coming in for TSM Evo. Double kill for Salse, and then one more, making it the triple onto Scion.
Yeah, and they just have so much damage output. The reset on, Cat is always nice if you can pick up kills. They will be able to take down this tower and, continue their aggressive pushing. So I don't know. We'll see. At this point, again, it's beyond a comeback stage, and it's just losing so many early deaths. It's really difficult to come back and farm and get enough goal really in order to just have any sort of a threat in fights. And once all TSM Evo is all grouped up, you'll just see that there's not enough killing potential from Super Special Awesome to meet up with TSM Evo, so they can just aggressively push all around the map. We do see Wings of Death. He has a Phage. We'll see how much gold does he have actually. Not a lot left, so but it's only 12 minutes in, so it's not like he's behind or anything. He's definitely way ahead. Scion could be walking to Aphromoo, but Aphromoo could probably just take him down right here. He needs the rest of his team though, because he is surrounded.
There we go. Now we see Wings of Death now leading the charge, and that's not too far behind. Stun going down onto Scion. The shield is gone. The Udyr is back, but he's a little bit too late. He's going to find that the rest of his team is here in trouble in their own jungle. Summoner Heal going down. Can Graves get away? Wings of Death is in pretty hot pursuit. And Malphite's also singled out as well. The Ward will know his retreat path, but Graves will get caught out. Malphite going for the run. The Q will be able to connect. More aggression from TSM Evo, and they're in such an advantageous position right now, doubling the gold on SSA, and now, once again, very much like Game 1, things are looking pretty grim, and once again, things are boiling down to just straight out farm.
Yeah, and so we do see they're going to be able to take mid turret. They're going to be able to take the second turret. Then they'll really just be able to transition, take the second mid turret as well. We will get that headbutt pulverize. Actually, just going to back off. No, there it is. Get the quick burst damage and actually maybe go in for the kill. Scion just barely not going to go down. We didn't have an ignite up on Salse. Otherwise, that might have been a kill. But the rest of the team is actually just going to continue pushing top while they're distracted with mid. Nice. Hopefully, Graves, yeah, we have the jump from Cat to get out of there. Wings of Death just continuing to be extremely aggressive in the top lane.
Good positioning from the Alistar for the Shunpo for a nice safe retreat for Salse, and mid turret being pinged down from SSA. They know they need to defend. That's the next logical point of aggression. That's the next logical objective for TSM Evo to try and grab. Aphromoo is here. He should be able to just push the creep wave all by himself, and Alistar is actually going in from behind a turret. The headbutt, the pulverize, trying to reduce the shield onto Scion as much as possible. He's going to go ahead and walk away from that one. Quick heal, top himself off, and the minions will continue to push. While top lane, Wings of Death is just all by his lonesome, pushing the lane all on his own.
Yeah, and there's not really anyone who can match up to him. We have the jump in from Leona there. There's the stun, the quick kill onto Scion, and the follow-up with Salse with the ultimate. He's actually going to maybe be able to get a pentakill here. He gets the triple kill. He gets the quadra kill. Can he get this last one? Let him have it. No, who gets it? Yeah, Sivir got it.
Oh, what a jerk.
Aphromoo.
What a jerk.
Aphromoo stealing the penta from Salse. But
that's the second time. That's the second time.
Was it Salse earlier, or was it Aphromoo that got it stolen?
Well, actually, I think now.
I think that's payback, maybe.
Wait, no. Who got? No. Wings of Death, I think, stole it from Game 1. I can't remember from who, but two. You know what? Regardless, though, that is 2 pentas stolen in this series. TSM Evo, I think at this point is they're just kind of mad at each other's. Like I bet I could steal that penta from you.
Oh man, Salse trying to go in for the super killing aggression, can't pick it up.
Yep.
That would have been pretty cool, but Aftermoo going to want to kite Sion here. He will hit that stun in a second. He needs that spell shield up, so he does throw down the spell shield. There's the slow, and Leona coming in as well. We have the AoE. Aftermoo is perfectly fine. He flashes out there. He's pretty low, though. The headbutt pulverize from Unstoppable will get him out of there, and the continued kite, he does pick up the double kill. Can he come in for the triple? Are they going to let him have it? There's the... Nope, Nat gets it. But even so, that's fine, and they will pick that up and be able to push mid. Aftermoo pretty low, but you know, I guess he can just kind of bait him in.
So now
we'll see if we see a quick Graves ult to try and take him down.
Actually, no, the spell shield from Aftermoo very well timed, and the boomerang headbutt into the boomerang of Aftermoo very well timed. And Udyr is just kind of standing still at the turret. He's not doing all too much. But see, now I look back at this game, I think about Champ Select, and you know, I think really both games really came down to Champ Select. Game 1, you had the early Skarner pick, and the team built around it. You know, early Skarner pick. An early double AP pick, just establishing top and mid, just looking really for a lot of damage and no CC. But here, looking into game number 2, early Malphite pick, early Nunu pick really telegraphed to TSM Evo the kind of game that SSA wanted to play.
I think TSM Evo, whenever I watch them, they just want to get their whole team like pentakills, and they're always diving the fountains, trying to grab them. But you're right. A lot of it is down to weakness in that Champ Select. The Malphite Nunu picks kind of mispicked. Nunu definitely is pretty strong, but a lot of times you want to kind of wait for the AD to come out, or at the very least pick them with your AD if you know what combo you're wanting to run. Picking your top lane, is not usually something you would do early, particularly when you pick a champion like Malphite, who's just a counter-picking kind of champion.
There's the Nunu ult trying to get something out of it. Actually manages to get the full proc. Salsa might actually go down here, but there is a quick death onto the Katarina. And right now SSA
almost
still,
grabbing Graves there.
Safeguard. Can you get the safety? Yes, you can. But yeah, at this point though, just the push from TSM Evil's go ahead, continue on into the base. Should be able to take out the Nexus turrets and the Nexus quite quickly. But yeah, so we can go ahead and we can review this real quick. Champ Select. A lot of champs picked early and counter picks picked early. Farm, in general, it depended on a lot of lanes, and there's also a lot of the early game harass that just SSA unfortunately could not mitigate. But I think a lot of it really does come down to just what happened in champs like both games, and sometimes, and you'll see a lot of the pros have no problem going ahead, picking their support first because they want to go ahead and get as much advantage as they can in their picks. But here we go, just TSM Evo, no problem, just kind of walking on up to the enemy base for funsies, seeing what they can grab, trying to take the entire team on. The shield being popped instantly by Alistar's combo, but Elizabeth is there to finish the rest of the job. Leona pushing up top lane. Yeah, and Salsa is back on it, looking for the kill inside the base. Nexus turrets are still up for grabs. Salsa and Wings of Death and the rest of TSM Evo can go ahead, take the top tier 3, followed by the inhib, and should just be able to continue the pressure here.
And the big thing, with the Champ Select, like we said, picking the champions early, like Malphite. With harass, you need to kind of figure out in the Champ Select how you're going to lane and how you're going to establish harass dominance, because you can never let your opponent get any free harass in lane very quickly. That's going to work against you. We have the ultimate. We have Cat coming in, going to grab 1 kill. Can she get Malphite? He is actually a little bit out of there, so flashing out. But you have to understand, how am I going to exchange harass? And a lot of the lanes, they get free harass. Like Lee Sin against Malphite, he gets free harass against Malphite. Malphite can't exchange the damage, and so over time, Lee Sin's going to win that lane just by harassing you down. And not getting the early health pots, that is devastating in that lane. Mid lane, Sion versus Cat, I would generally say is a pretty even matchup, but you need to kind of worry about the constant harass from Katarina. Cat, can just constantly wear you down with the Q and I don't know, not allow you to hold up that shield. So that's a concern. Bot lane, Nunu versus the Sivir, is a struggle. Leona against Graves, that's always a really aggressive lane. We have the ward, Salsa able to get out of there, but I don't know. It's just you just can't fall behind quite so early.
It's rough. It's rough sometimes here. And Champ Select, is just as important to understand. how champ select works and orders in which you should choose your champions. It's just as important as playing the actual game. And this series is a very I think like a nice message to just why some picks you just do not want to make early. And there we go, kills going down over by the fountain of SSA, TSM Evo. All the super minions are pushing just fine. Wings of Death just trying to escape by the skin of teeth. Wards going down, because should be able to safeguard to it. But yeah, the super minions are there in the base. All the inhibitors are down. There's not a whole lot of damage from SSA to try and mitigate this. And Graves can do things. He can do it pretty decently on his own. That's a lot of minions, man. And one tower is already down. The second one's already halfway out. So next push from TSM should be able to finish the job.
Yeah, and we'll see. Maybe we'll get one more, magical penta. Though it's not really quite so magical when you're 34-13 in a game. But if they can get one more, that would be kind of cool. But we'll see. They'll probably dive. Just all 5 of them dive the tower, and the game will last another 5 minutes.
I think they're making a ward heart. Yeah, you go ahead and check it real quick.
Where? Oh no, it's just a ward clutter.
Just a ward clutter. I thought
maybe it's a GG. A poorly, if they've got bad spelling.
It looks like a GG. It
almost looks like a GG.
But we got the point across. It's a GG.
Yeah, we'll be able to grab this middle inhibitor. They can, just continue this push. And with the 3 inhibs once again down, there's not a whole lot that they can do. We have Alistar coming in once again. Can we get these kills? We have Unstoppable coming in. Wings of Death. So much damage going all over the place. Salse, there's the Dragon Kick and the knockback. Wings of Death gets the first one. Unfortunately, the rest of them back off. So it'll end there.
All the minions are here. Nexus is being focused down. Every objective has been gone and taken. And Super Minions should be able to finish it off on their own. TSM Evo trying to get whatever kills they can get at the base, but there goes the base. There goes the Nexus. GG. TSM Evo taking the series 2-0 and going to be moving on to round of 16.
Yep, so there you have it. TSM Evo, too strong. They can beat up on new teams, but it was a fun game. It's going to be tough for almost anyone to match up with these kind of caliber teams.
So we do this often in the round of 32. I think we should just go ahead and quick advice for Super Special Austin. I think the one thing really to be taken away here is the importance of champ select and picking things in order and knowing what champs, where in the picking order do they go. Champions like Malphite is someone you want to pick later on when you know that he's going to go ahead and counter whoever's in top lane. Champions like Skarner work very well if you pick him against a team that doesn't have as much CC, or which they're going to be very close quarters. You can go ahead and get whatever engages you need on that. Supports like Nunu, someone you want to pick as a pair when you have two slots available for your picks, is go ahead and take your AD and support together in one nice convenient package. Yeah, I think I covered most of it.
That's most of it as in one small sentence out of the thousands of pages that we could write on the subject.
The
college
the
thesis
big topic
on
of the day.
League of Legends champ select.
I want to get the big topic out of the day.
Yeah.
So just something to go home with, and it's just nice little quick lesson for anyone out there aspiring.
I'm pretty sure what we're supposed to go home
with
with is that Katarina is the best right now.
Katarina's up there. Not quite sure if she's the best right now. But there's a lot of best right now.
Yeah.
And seemingly very
there's
enough,
a lot of really cool champions.
The best right now can change in an instant, or whenever you're playing the best right now and instantly die. But a lot of things do happen, and League of Legends is fantastic because it's always a constantly evolving game. Speaking of constantly evolving, hopefully there's the patch tonight. Hopefully we can get that arranged. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be cool. Hopefully we can release a video tomorrow with
I would like
LOL
to
update and the patch.
But but speaking of tomorrow, do please join us tomorrow morning. The EU, we're going to have Fnatic and Made in Italy, the new Fnatic lineup. I'm pretty sure we will. And then tomorrow afternoon, 6 p.m. Pacific, a little bit later, just like tonight, going to have Curse and Calamity going on at it. Some round of 16 action going in. So. Hey, we're gonna have a good week of League of Legends right up for you, and as always, remember to check in on whatever we're doing. Twitter and Facebook at IGN Pro League, on YouTube at IPL and as always, send us your tops, send us your flops. We want your replays, IPL replays at gmail.com. If we use your replays, we might send you something good. We might send you some good free stuff. But until then, though, I think we're pretty much done for the day. So, hey, thanks for joining in with us. It's always a pleasure to have you with us on the stream. Hope you can join us next time. And, hey, we will see you hopefully tomorrow for Fnatic and Made in Italy in the morning. Until then, good night.